Hey there. I am finally doing a video that I've been promising for a while on how I use the root spray to put roots on a wig that comes without a rooted color. This is John Renault Blend and Build. I don't know if the light's shining on that too much. This is the light brown, and then I also have the dark brown, John Renault. This is what I've always used, but I've heard you can actually buy the stuff that's just sold in the drugstore. I'm not sure if it's made for synthetics, so I'm not sure how it would do. This does leave a bit of a residue, but I've figured out if you wash it after it's dried, maybe the next day, wash it, and it's not bad at all. I mean, it's still a little bit of a residue, but nothing bad, and it doesn't really wash out. Some people have said that it's temporary. If you're doing it with a wig, I would not treat it as if it's temporary, because I've done it on, gosh, probably 10 different wigs, and it's never washed out of any of them. So just be aware. I think it's permanent. Okay, so the things you're gonna need are one of these. You're gonna need a fine tooth comb, and I use a pencil. And I know that's gonna seem strange, but I'll show you what I use it for. Let me put the camera so you can see it better, the part. So here's the part. Well, you need to kind of see it. I'm gonna keep it that way. What I do with the pencil, as you can see, because it's got dye on one side, or the spray on one side, I lay this across the mono part to protect the lace so it doesn't get discolored. And then you want to stay away from the lace front. I don't get that far down. I usually stop a little before the lace, but I keep it covered when I'm spraying. So I'm going to start with this with the pencil. I kind of do it in sections. I'm going to start with the back section first. I got to hold it with that. And I'm going to use the dark brown so you can see it better. It's got a little tiny nozzle sticks out of it. I don't know if you can see it. It's not super long or anything, but you're supposed to hold this several inches away. So don't get it too close. And do little bursts. And hold that pencil down hard. You do not want any of the spray seeping underneath onto the part. Okay, so as you can see, it's protected that part. Now I'm going to let that sit for a minute while I spray a little bit up here. Okay, now I'm going to let that sit. Now this back section I just did, now I'm going to comb it through with the fine tooth comb, because that is what helps it blend. So it looks more natural. It looks more like your own hair growing out of your scalp, where you had darker hair that you had colored and it's grown out. Just like bio hair that some people have. Okay. I'm not sure if the instructions say that, or if I remember my daughter-in-law telling me that, and she's a hairstylist. So this combing out part is per her instructions, but I think it may also be on the can. Okay, and so as you comb, you can kind of see there's some spots where I need to spray more. It's not quite. So don't try to do it all like in one shot. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times to get it to the point where you really like it. Okay, I'm gonna get the pencil again. Make sure I have it in the same exact spot. And make sure to hold that can far enough away. And it splatters on your fingers, you can see. Seems like these blonde streaks, it's having a harder time kind of sticking to it. Okay, now I'm gonna let that sit just for a few seconds, and then I'm gonna start combing it to blend it. Now I usually only do the part because that's all that ever really shows. I've seen other people use it, like pull up a section and do it down here. If you want it more throughout, I don't wear ponytails or anything with my wigs very often. I guess if you did that, you might need to do some other sections underneath the top layer. But I think if I get the part, I'm happy with it. So maybe one more quick on this blonde. That wasn't seeming like the spray is sticking to it. There, that's better. But you can see it's really just however you like it. It's kind of a process, but it's super easy. It's not hard. It's nothing to be scared about. It's not, as long as you do short little bursts and you hold it far enough away, it's not gonna do anything like crazy dramatic. And now it's gonna look kind of wet, but you can see that looks about right, like how I would want the rooting. This is actually a wig I'm gonna donate, so it's not one I'm gonna have to worry about, but I wanted to show you on an actual wig. So I just kind of keep combing just to disperse more of the product around on the hair. And then I'll leave it out like overnight to dry. And then, like I said, tomorrow, because it does leave a little residue, tomorrow I'll wash it and it'll feel good. And it'll look great. I mean, it already looks great other than looking kind of shiny because it's wet. But it will dry and it will be awesome. And that's how I do it. So good luck. Give it a shot.